All right, we have a microphone that's going to go around the room, actually 2 microphones. So, if you have a question, we'll have about 10 or 15 minutes for question and answer. We have right over here. Yes, ma'am.
You have only 5 girls, you don't have any boys?
Oh. The question, sorry, a little louder, please.
Oh.
We couldn't hear you.
I thought he doesn't have any boys in his family, that's all.
No.
No, I have 5 girls, thank God, and I have 3 boys. But I have a lot of girls, and I love having girls because one day when there's drool coming out of my mouth, and you know, they just shove me in a corner, doesn't he look tired, that kind of moment. I'll have 5 daughters. The boys are going to abandon me for sure. But the girls are going to take care of me.
Really? Because I got a 5-year-old at home who you might want to send a note back with me to make sure that happens.
She's a girl?
Yeah.
Hi,
Yes.
hi, I'm over here. I'm glad that you brought that up about the boys who would ignore you when you're old, when you're dribbling, and you're arthritic. And you turn into a total curmudgeon. I find that in my lifetime, that the Jewish men, straight Jewish men, have defined me in one way, and because of the way they define me, they refuse to develop a relationship which is non-sexual. And when in coming here, and you talked about the devastated male, I thought to myself, I wonder if he's going to address how men dismiss other men because they don't live up to their standard of what is malehood. Another point.
What is your question, sir?
Well, that is.
Okay.
That's the question.
Why did you say you were rejected? Based on what? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
No, I said I was rejected on their perception of me as not being the kind of male, that they have in mind in a friendship. It didn't matter.
Why? Because you're not rich enough? Because you're not straight enough? I don't understand.
Well,
why.
I wasn't. Yes.
You're
I
gay?
wasn't straight enough for them.
Are you gay?
I would say I'm not straight enough for them.
Okay. Well, that's ridiculous. You know what? A lot of guys, I don't know if you're saying you're gay or not, a lot of people are homophobes. Some of them use religion to justify their homophobia. It's not justifiable. Our job, certainly, let me just speak first in the Orthodox Jewish community. If I meet an Orthodox Jewish man, I have met my equal. I ask him to put on tefillin, get him to keep Shabbos with me if he wants to, invite him to my Shabbos table. He is my equal. He is God's child. Okay? I discussed this with Pat Robertson. I said to Pat Robertson, with whom I'm friendly, I said, why can't you come out and say that you want all gay men to come to church? For goodness sake, invite them to church, get them to pray to God. What does their homosexuality have to do with it? Are you saying they should pray to God? He said, of course they should pray to God. I said, can they come to church? Of course they can. So invite them. He said, well, we can't invite them as that kind of group. I said, so you don't have any influence over the gay community at all? Judaism dare not make that ridiculous mistake. Get new friends. what can I tell you?
Yes,
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, sir, in the middle, yes?
Thank you. Rabbi, first of all, though I'm not typical American Jew, I'm the only son of Holocaust survivors. I took care of my father 8 of the last 12 months until he died of cancer at age 86. I just wanted to say that since you were throwing out that image. I have a question for you to pass along to Christopher Hitchens. I heard him speak 2 years ago at a Front Page Magazine conference in New York. Actually, it was a dinner in his honor, and he stated, he went into all these things attacking religion, but he stated that he sent his daughter for a while to a Quaker school so she would have a good education, presumably, where she learned certain values, and he felt that she would not be an educated person if she did not know about the Bible, the literature of it. It's a major part of Western culture and society. You might want to ask him about that next time you talk to him.
Well, look, let me just tell you, I've debated Christopher Hitchens twice. The first time, I enjoyed him immensely. I think he is arguably the most talented writer in America today. He's brilliant and he's entertaining. And then I debated him again 6 months ago, 3 years later. He was a changed man. Certainly my perception of it was. He barely said hello to me when he saw me. After our first debate, we went out to dinner at a kosher restaurant together. This time, he barely said hello. It was an ugly debate. And I saw it with Dawkins as well. These guys are becoming very disrespectful. I mean, atheists believe in tolerance. I mean, if I'm not like you, I'm an idiot. I deserve to be stepped on. In my exchange with Richard Dawkins, essentially what happened is Dawkins denied that he ever debated me. So what we did in my office, and many of the people who work in my office are here, Kenya Ramirez, who is my assistant who runs my whole office, who I'm so grateful to because she runs my professional life, God bless you, Kenya, and Ben Kyle, with whom I work, is here as well. What we quickly did in the office was we took the 2 hours of video from October 24th, 1996, and we quickly put it up on the website. He lost the debate. Fair enough. I don't put a lot of stock who wins, who loses debates. I'll tell you why. Debates are mostly about entertainment. They are. We watch presidential debates because they're going to be entertaining. And when we say they're boring, we don't mean that there wasn't a lot of information. We mean there wasn't enough good to take. It wasn't entertaining enough. But he lost that debate. So I wrote an article saying, actually, there was this debate, go and watch it. And he lost, which doesn't mean much. I was very respectful. He responded, I kid you not, in an open letter, he responded by comparing me to Hitler. To Hitler. When I first read it, Kenya will remember this, Jason in my office hands me this and says, you won't believe what Dawkins wrote about you. I see the word Hitler. I said, what? Has he taken lead? Hitler? Hitler? You want to say I'm an idiot, I'm a moron, I'm short, I'm hairy, I'm ugly? Okay. Some of those things may even be true. But Hitler? They have no moral sense anymore. If anything, they're undermining this new rabid atheism, which is so attacking religion. They're undermining their own cause for one reason. People are going to see their behavior and they're going to say, you know what, no matter what valid points they make, look at what they're becoming. Religion became that hundreds of years ago. Thank God it righted its ship. Christianity, a few hundred years ago, was a malignant religion. It slaughtered people, it killed people, it had corrupt popes. Now, I think this pope, whether you agree with his doctrine or not, is a kind, compassionate, very special man. John Paul II, perhaps even more, great man. Evangelical Christians, we have issues with them, certainly in the Jewish community, but they lead godly, moral lives. We don't agree with them on everything. They're supporters of Israel. But you'd hardly call them evil, wicked people. They try to lead good, moral lives and raise good kids. But this new atheism is learning from the worst aspects of religion. Terrible.
So do you think that the overreaction, as you see it, on the atheism side, is a response to overreaction against them in the past from the religious right?
That's a good question. I've never pondered that. Maybe. I wouldn't say that's the reason why Hitchens and Dawkins are reacting this way, because they've never suffered from the overreaction. Dawkins lives in England where religion is dead. I lived there for 11 years. Europe is living in the post-Christian era. So what's he reacting to? I would say a lot of the people who are championing them on as cheerleaders, they may be overreacting. Look, I don't want to see religious wars in America. I happen to be very close to evangelical Christians, but I always say to them, why do you have to politicize the religion? Do we have to hear more about gay marriage and abortion? You mean that's what religion is? Sexual laws, that's it? It's not about charity, it's not about not gossiping, it's not about raising inspired kids. What about all that? I always say to my Christian brothers and sisters, I feel the mistake you're making is to focus so much on the death of Christ and the absolution of sin and this more negative message instead of the life of Christ. I'm writing a book right now about the Jewish Jesus. Jesus had beautiful ethical teachings. Now we Jews will never believe he was God, obviously. We will never believe he was the Messiah either. That doesn't mean we believe he had nothing to offer, especially once you understand that, in my opinion, he never claimed to be either of those things. And his teachings, the Sermon on the Mount, are really a restatement of Torah. In my book, I basically chart how in every one of his great teachings are related to a rabbinical saying that came before him. He was a Pharisaic rabbi. But we don't have to politicize the religion, and maybe it is an overreaction, maybe. But we should still never be reactionary.
Yes, ma'am?
Hi, my name is Hannah. I'm an Israeli. I know a little bit about your culture, about your books. I wonder if you have any comments on other culture, other countries in the broken man. You focus mostly on the American. And don't give me Israel because we are basically an extension of the American in this respect. Thank you.
Right, Israel is the 51st state.